Film holen oder so. Danach würde den abholen kommen.
Dear guests, the countdown for the opening ceremony starts in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes left to take advantage of our special free transport.
Dear guests, only 3 more minutes until we start the official opening for the Ecsite conference. That means you have 3 more minutes to take advantage of our high-speed, free shuttle service.
Dearest guests, only 1 minute left till the beginning of our opening ceremony.
So take a seat, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome to the opening ceremony
of the Ecsite Conference 2022, and welcome to Heilbronn.
Yes, the hometown of Kätchen.
Of Spätzle.
And a good drop of wine, of course.
Yeah, but we can try some of that later. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Bea.
And we are edutainers here at the Experimenta. Yes, we are.
Thank you. And it's really good to see you, because the public transport in Germany is mostly good, but yesterday you had a little experiences, we heard.
Yeah, we did hear that, so it's great that you all made it here. And maybe in time for the next Ecsite, we can all put our heads together, and in a year we will beam ourselves somewhere, right?
I'm pro-beaming. Yes, and we are very nervous because this is our very, very first Ecsite.
It's true. Our very first Ecsite! But people put us at ease. They said, don't be too nervous. This is like a giant family reunion. Yeah, so this is how we're feeling.
Because that's what the Ecsite is, a big family. And we can see it, a growing one as well.
It's kind of cool when you think about it. That means that I could have an uncle in South Africa.
Yeah, or a brother in Brazil.
Or a sister in Norway.
Oh, I always wanted an aunt in the Netherlands. Yeah,
me too.
That would be great.
That would be, this is good. This would be a good way to do it. And wouldn't it be great if we had a way that we could all greet each other?
Oh, you mean
when
a
we
greeting?
see each other? Like if we took our languages and combined them. So let me see. I'm looking around. I think there's a man right over there from Israel. Can that be? That's
yes,
you.
Hello,
yes,
welcome.
So yes, welcome from Israel. And now you have to tell us how you greet a friend when you see them in Israel. What is the greeting?
מה נשמע? כיף לראות אותך.
מה נשמע? כיף לראות
לראות אותך.
אותך.
Oh, that's difficult. Leopoldocha.
Wait, we have to start again. מה נשמע?
מה נשמע?
Manishma. That's good.
Yeah, manishma.
So we have the first one.
We have the first one, and we do a little
manishma.
A movement with it, and
we need a second part for our greeting, for our special Ecsite greeting. Who is maybe from Brazil? Is there someone from Brazil? Yeah? Yeah? Oh,
look over there!
Yes,
Yay!
running to catch our greeting.
To the ball!
Yes. So welcome from Brazil. Long journey. What's your favorite greeting for your best buddy friend?
It's much more simple. Oi.
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 Oi. That's nice. Oi.
Thank you for keeping it simple. Oi.
Oi. So we've got manishma.
Yes.
And oi.
Oi. And so we're going manishma.
Oi.
Oi. And we need one more because we want to make like a 3-syllable word. One more country. Where else? The nice lady right there, you're looking right at me. We see each other. Where are you from? Colombia.
Wow.
Look at that. So anywhere we go, so tell me, how do you greet a friend in Colombia? Hola.
Another
Hola. Hola, she does. Hola. Okay, so
Hola.
we have
Manishma.
Oi. Hola. Or we have man, oi, ol.
Man, oi, ol.
Man, oi, ol.
That's our greeting.
That's our greeting.
Yeah, so shall we try
Man.
it together?
We try it?
Man, oi,
ol.
So,
One more time. Man, oi,
oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're getting it.
And you know what? We can try this greeting because we are not the only two edutainers here at Experimenta. We've got 4 more, and you already met them. Over there are Reik and Udo.
And over here we have Anna and Sabina. And so everybody, let's practice one more time our greeting. 1, 2, 3. Man, oi, oh. Okay.
Yeah, oh, I like that greeting.
Right. So beyond a greeting, we always hear about family songs. We are family.
Yes.
So how about a song for Ecsite as well?
A family song that we can sing together whenever we meet. Yes.
Okay, that's also a great idea. We do have a song, and I believe all of you have heard of the song Ode to Joy from Beethoven.
Yes, because this is the European anthem since 1985, and I think it stands for the values that we all share.
Freedom
Peace.
and unity.
And you are about to hear and learn the song.
That's right. And for the Ecsite, we have Mr. Uli Dackler, who is a bit of a musical genius and an expert at working with choirs. And he has put a new twist on Ode to Joy for us. Had a great time telling us about how happy he was that Beethoven introduced the first shuffle in music. And this shuffle he also has in this composition. So please join us now in welcoming Uli Dackler and the Experimenter Choir.
Two, 1, 0, all engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Finding new horizons in science.
Make some noise for the Experimenter Choir and Uli Dattler. Bye.
Take a bow. So what a joy! Yes, and don't worry, they will come back later.
This is true. Hui.
Oh, I love a song. It's always
Wait.
a good start in the morning.
Moment, Bea. Bea, it's nice to see you. Man, oh,
yeah,
okay.
for
we have
saying
to keep
goodbye.
working on this.
Yeah,
we have to keep
okay.
working on this. And now, please join us in welcoming the CEO of the Experimenter, Dr. Wolfgang Hensch.
We've got man.
Hey! Oh, wait, no.
Man.
Man, oi, oh.
So it's not so easy to speak now. Yeah. A wonderful good morning to all of you here in the auditorium of the Ecsite camp. And I said it already yesterday at the speaker's reception. It's an extraordinary sight to be able to welcome you personally and not via a computer or so. And thank you to Bruno and to Catherine for the opportunity to act as a host right here at the beginning of this opening ceremony. I have only 2 or 3 short messages. Maybe the good news, don't worry, I won't sing. The Experimenter Choir did this already excellently, and maybe it could be a good idea to start each conference day with this song. And maybe the song will be the Ecsite anthem. But what I can promise you is that we will sing this song all together at the farewell party on Saturday evening. So you have to prepare for it. Yeah. Okay. Now I have a small challenge because I have only 2 minutes according to the schedule to greet all the important guests here in this tent. Actually impossible, but there must be time to greet very special guests, and I do this with the utmost respect and an expression of a deep solidarity. Welcome, a warm welcome to our friends from the Ukraine. We are very happy to have you with us, and our president, Bruno Marcar, will introduce you later, and you will have also the opportunity to speak to us. How about the other guests? Everyone I should have mentioned is sitting in the front row. And if you like, you can all come forward to see who belongs and how has a front row seat. It's a joke, of course. Due to time constraint, Bruno Marcar will officially welcome you later. Nevertheless, I am already hoping for applause for all of the participants of this Ecsite annual conference. And you can clap now your hands. It's a common applause for all the participants. So, because I will have a chance to say a few more words later, I clear the space now for a video message by the Prime Minister of the state of Baden-Württemberg, Winfried Kretschmann, and also for a video message of the Lord Mayor of the city of Heilbronn, Harry Mergel. So we can start with a video of our Prime Minister. I hope this is correct.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, ich darf Sie alle ganz herzlich begrüßen hier in Baden-Württemberg. Oder wie wir für unsere internationalen Gäste sagen, in the land. Ich möchte mit einer Frage beginnen. Was haben Corona und der Klimawandel gemeinsam? Normalerweise fangen auf diese Weise Witze an. Aber es ist ernst. In beiden Themen brauchen wir die Wissenschaft. Und in beiden Themen wird die Rolle der Wissenschaft als solche angegriffen. Wir merken das immer wieder, wenn selbst ein früherer US-Präsident den Klimawandel leugnet oder die Existenz eines Virus angezweifelt wird, das auf der ganzen Welt Menschen in die Krankenhäuser bringt. Dabei liegen die Fakten auf der Hand. Und dort, wo sie es nicht tun, hat die Wissenschaft die Möglichkeit, das auch so zu formulieren. Im Gegensatz zu Verschwörungstheoretikern, die alles so hinbiegen, dass es rund und stimmig scheint, also wirklichkeitsfern ist. Aber die Anerkennung der Wirklichkeit, meine Damen und Herren, ist die Voraussetzung für zivilisierten Streit. Wie sollen wir produktiv darüber streiten, wie wir ein Problem lösen wollen, wenn wir uns noch nicht einmal darüber einig sind, ob es überhaupt eins gibt? Ohne Fakten kein rationaler Diskurs, ohne rationalen Diskurs keine Demokratie. Deshalb sind Instanzen und Institutionen so wichtig, die nicht nur auf Grundlage von Halbwissen, Vermutungen und Wunschdenken arbeiten, sondern auf Grundlage von Hypothesen und nachvollziehbaren Methoden. Und es wird immer wichtiger, dass wir diese Arbeitsweise und die Erkenntnisse der Wissenschaft auch verständlich machen. Denn die Themen unserer Zeit verlieren ja nicht an Komplexität. Globale Herausforderungen wie Nachhaltigkeit, Bildung und Lernen im 21. Jahrhundert, Inklusion und gesellschaftlicher Zusammenhalt und Wissenschaft als solche, das muss gut aufbereitet und erklärt werden. Deshalb gehören Wissenschaft und Wissenschaftskommunikation unbedingt zusammen. So wie Sie, liebe Ecsite-Mitglieder, das mit Ihrer diesjährigen Tagung herausragend demonstrieren. Toll, dass Sie alle da sind. Bei der Experimenta, dem größten Wissenschaftsmitmachmuseum Deutschlands. In Heilbronn, einer der dynamischsten Städte unseres Landes. Und in Baden-Württemberg.
Welcome to Heilbronn. Our modern and dynamic city is the economic and cultural center of the Heilbronn-Franken region and the second largest city in the European metropolitan region of Stuttgart. With a high potential for skilled workers and innovation, as well as excellent transport connections, Heilbronn is one of the most important business locations in the state of Baden-Württemberg. In line with our motto, science creates economic power, Heilbronn is increasingly focusing on future technologies and is transforming itself more and more into a city of knowledge, also thanks to the great support of the Dieter Schwarz Foundation. Since 2020, Heilbronn has held the title of University City and is the location of a future AI Innovation Park Baden-Württemberg. In view of this development, we are very proud to host Europe's ultimate science engagement event, the Ecsite conference in Heilbronn. It is a unique event with over 100 inspiring sessions, debates and workshops. We are sure that you will find Heilbronn and the Ecsite camp a melting pot for warm social events and inspiring networking. With its creative, dedicated, open and professional spirit, the Ecsite community is a perfect fit for Heilbronn's multicultural people, educational projects and a forward-looking economy. Each day you inspire people with science and technology. You tackle global challenges like the climate and biodiversity crisis, trust in science or inclusion and equality. In short, you make the world a better place to live. Thank you for participating in Ecsite Conference 2022. Your host, the Experimenta, is an important part of Heilbronn, its touristic map and its educational landscape. Germany's largest science center offers explorers of all age a fascinating world of science and new technologies. It's a unique place for young and old to gain experience in an entertaining and educational way. Visitors learn about future models of society, a talent factory and citizen science projects. Experimenta stands out for promoting education, sharing knowledge and making tomorrow's society strong. Ecsite and Experimenta, two impressive E's do match. I wish you a successful conference. Enjoy your stay in Heilbronn.
Headsets stehen vor der Bühne. Headset 1 bis 4.
Come with. And now we would like to introduce two Ecsite family members who need no introduction at all.
Mr. Bruno Macar, President of Ecsite.
And Miss Catherine Franche, Executive Director of Ecsite.
Your stage.
There you go.
Headset 3 und 4.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, Mr. Mayor, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, guten Morgen. We are honored and very happy to welcome you all to the 2022 Ecsite Physical Conference. It is such a pleasure to see you all in here at the heart of our continent, in a special city, in a successful science center, and in a wonderful space. Let me first thank Wolfgang and his team for making this incredible moment possible. This has given you a huge job, and I know that you have done everything to host us in the best possible conditions. We feel privileged and lucky that Experimenta agreed to welcome us for this particular moment that every Ecsite member was waiting for. Opened to the public 15 years ago, built on the grounds of an oilseed storehouse, Experimenta has now become a well-established science center. I am sure you will all be very impressed with this unique place in Germany. Because being in Germany today means a lot. Germany is a great country that has actively contributed to building a peaceful Europe since the end of the war. The past is long ago, but let us remember that it gave our fathers the strength to turn their backs on hatred. Together, because this unfortunate past is common to us, we have built, through compromise, a political, cultural, and civic entity called Europe. A democratic construction of which we can be proud of, based on freedom. The freedom to think, to come and go, to love whoever we want. War strikes again, less than 2,000 kilometers from here, but I will come back to this in a few moments. Heilbronn is an authentically European city. Not far from here, the great Schiller, a giant in German and European culture, was born. Heilbronn also has its place in the history of science and industry, thanks to Karl Heinrich Knorr, to whom we owe several revolutionary food products, such as the first stock tube and the first ready-made soap. Here are some of the reasons why Heilbronn is to accommodate our annual conference. So how many are we today? Roughly 950-ish people coming from 50 or so different countries. Many of you have traveled a long way to be here today, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you for being here with us this morning. Please also let me wish a happy Festa della Repubblica to all our Italian colleagues in the name of the Ecsite board. So, if we can put the slide with the members of the board, I will be the happiest man on earth. Okay. Okay. So here they are. So I begin with Mikko on the bottom on the right. Mikko is from Eureka, Finland. Next to him you have Thanasis from Greece. Thank you, Thanasis. Amito from the Netherlands. Where are you, Amito? He's here. Alexandra, from the Natural History Museum of London. Where are you, Alex? Somewhere, hidden. Maria Joao from Portugal. Robert from Poland. Francis from Toulouse, France. Stefan can't be with us this morning. He's from Belgium. Barbel is here. Leo from Perugia, Italy. Herbert, where are you, Herbert? He's here. Kim from Denmark. And Ulrike, who is the vice president from Switzerland. So I'm very pleased to welcome those of you that have attended many Ecsite conferences, as well as those who are new to this event. Please don't be afraid. We can look a bit crazy at first, but we are very nice people. People who love exchanging ideas, debating, disagreeing also, but always in good spirits. We are not just a simple network. We are a big family, a family that gathers all those who engage daily with science and inspire people with it. I will have the opportunity to say it again to the new members for whom we have prepared a cozy event on a boat to celebrate their entry into our large family. And all this would never be possible without someone in particular who you all know, of course. I am sure that exactly as the Little Catherine of Heilbronn, believe it or not, it is a play by Heinrich von Kleist, The Little Catherine of Heilbronn. Catherine will remind us how by clinging to our dreams, we can overturn the world order. Dear Catherine, how do you feel today?
Small. I didn't know about that. Actually, I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'm terribly emotional. And I think even waterproof mascara won't do a job of this. I'm terribly moved to see you all. I'm moved to meet your hearts, meet your creative energy. You might remember that 3 years ago I quoted Leonard Cohen, who was saying, there's a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. Well, you've been my crack for the last years. And I know that through your work, you've been the light of many people. Science engagement has been the light of many. I know that you've changed, and we've all changed. We've trembled, we've been shaken, we've been afraid. But here we stand, and yet we still tremble with acute awareness of the challenges and the threats. Threats on freedom, on plants, on animals, on human lives, on air and water. But yes, I'm happy, dangerously happy, and I welcome you.
Since the last on-site annual conference in Copenhagen already 3 years ago, we have all changed, as Catherine says. A lot, and not only us, but our organizations as well. You probably all became Zoom or Teams professionals. Virtual meetings, remote work, digital twins have certainly become your favorite words. You have spent hours and hours thinking of new ways to interact with two-dimensional visitors, digital visitors. In terms of new formats, of new tools, of new ideas, these past 2 years have probably been the most creative ones. And the most exhausting too, I have to admit. I also know that many of us encountered difficulties in numbers. Doors were closed, money was scarce, staff were worried. Some of you had to make tough decisions, and none of us are really over what happened. We all made mistakes, thinking we had amazing ideas that eventually turned out to be unsuccessful. But isn't it that exactly what science is? Trying, failing, trying again until you make it. Have we come out transformed? I'm convinced. Are we coming out better? The future will tell. Are we coming out of it more united? It's obvious. And your presence here is proof of that. Ecsite worked for this unity, revealing in this tormented period the reason for its existence, the solidarity between its members.
So you want to know what we did,
yes,
right?
Please.
What we did, but also why we did it and how we did it. And I think these 3 words are important. So first, of course, there was an emergency to stay connected, to offer spaces for the members and for the whole community to exchange ideas, but mostly emotions and solutions. It was very low-key, was very simple, but I think this is a very clear learning. Simplicity is powerful. And it was done with the generous contribution of Ecsite members, of the board, whom I thank, of the members on the committees. And again, it demonstrated the power of a network. And then came the need for beyond sharing emotions and solutions for critical thinking. And that's the true spirit of Ecsite, I think. And all this gave online events that you've probably followed. The Ecsite Day, the Ecsite online conference in 21, the Business Day, workrooms, for in-depth learning online. We had a super directors forum online hosted by Technopolis. We worked on 14 EU projects and produced numerous resources and reflections. And then comes autumn 21, when we can finally organize an in-person event, the Doctors' Forum that was hosted at Universcience in Paris. And I say finally, because even if digital has its advantage, we know, I think, by now that face-to-face and back-to-back is in our DNA, right? But all this wasn't done without pain, and some members of my team, of your team, suffered greatly. We definitely have to be more careful with our teams. That's also being sustainable. Yes, we can be proud of what we did as an Ecsite community.
These difficult times are also a major reminder of our role of science engagement organizations, helping people understand the world they live in and develop a critical approach to what they see, hear, or read. In other words, our core mission is to empower citizens. Now is the moment for science engagement organizations. And tomorrow, more than we can imagine. We are, along with scientists and activists, those who know best the urgency of decarbonizing our activities. Our responsibility is huge in the years to come. We must indeed contribute through the content we offer to the public and through the operation of our institutions to the great transformation that awaits all of humanity. It is an exhilarating task that promises us moments that will not always be peaceful. To succeed, we must be clearer than ever about our goals, our means, our alliances, and engage in ethical reflection. I have a conviction which I shared with you when I was elected by you last year. Ecsite must not remain alone, but on the contrary must open up to those who share its values in the field of research, education, culture, and the media. We have begun to do so by actively participating in events organized by the European Commission or as part of the Portuguese and the French presidencies of the European Union, and by meeting our sister organizations at the European level. They all gave us the warmest welcome. Let me name a few: Science Europe, the Network of European Museums, NEMO, the European University Association, EUA, ICOM Europe, and so on. On an international level, Ecsite has strengthened its relationships with the major science engagement networks: ASPAC, ASTEC, NAMES, RedPop, and SASTEC. And I wish to thank their representatives for being here with us today. And I am pleased to announce that the networks have decided to organize in 2023, as proposed by Ecsite, an international directors forum that will take place in Europe.
International, yeah. My family is all over the world. My friends are all over the world. And you, dear colleagues, are all over the world. Being far geographically, I think, liberates us from the superficial. I cannot see how you're dressed when you're in Colombia. It doesn't matter. What counts is what you and I say and what our eyes project, transmit. Professionally, we could not and still cannot move as freely as before. Frontiers reappeared, then money disappeared. But what stayed is this sense of being a community, of sharing profound values, beyond looks and languages, beyond unshaven legs and bald heads. A common purpose unites us. But is this community a silo, an echo chamber, a subtle little bubble? Are we too similar, too much of the same? Well, maybe. Maybe we're losing a lot from this lack of diversity, losing ideas, creativity. The perspective is reduced, it's narrow. Let's open up. Let's open up. Yes, it feels good to be together, but it could feel a little bit better to be with the other.
I would now like to address a serious subject. I want to speak, I'm sure you understand, about the situation in Ukraine. Not a situation, a war. Because it all starts with the need to put words to what is happening. To call a spade, an invader, an invader. It is a war. It is a war in Europe. It is a war launched against a country which only asks to be free, against a society which only asks to live. A brutal, bloody, inconceivable, unacceptable war. Ecsite and its members have done their modest part to help our Ukrainian colleagues. The massive mobilization of our Polish colleagues at the forefront of the crisis to welcome Ukrainian refugees is a lesson for the entire network. Their commitment commands admiration. Many other Ecsite members have set up actions and initiatives such as welcoming refugees, raising funds, sharing resources, delivering goods. At the early stage, Ecsite as a network took a position and sent a letter signed by members of its board to the Russian Science Engagement Network to ask to publicly manifest its disapproval of the attack on Ukraine by the Russian Federation. Ecsite invited partners across Europe and the rest of the world to do the same in their fields, and the Ecsite board is actively searching for ways to support our Ukrainian friends and colleagues to support the Ukrainian people. It is little compared to the courage with which the Ukrainian people are fighting, by using weapons, of course, but also by preparing for the future, and especially that of the children of Ukraine. We are impressed by the emphasis our colleagues from Ukraine put on education, and especially on education in science. I would like, in this European Year of Youth, to dedicate this 2022 conference to the young girls and boys of Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the joy and the honor to welcome among us this morning in Heilbronn a delegation from Ukraine. I ask you to stand up and give them a warm applause. So we are with us this morning, Professor Stanislav Dovgi. He's the president of the Junior Academy of Science of Ukraine, and is with Katerina, Vasil, Olena, Denis, Maria, and Olena.
Okay. Oops, that's important.
Handcenter 6 ist auf der Bühne.
So you'll be able to speak within minutes. Thank you. Catherine will now explain what has been prepared for this conference.
Yes, very quickly, Stanislav. I'll give it back to you.
2 more minutes. We're not yet finished.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed that we're also improvising a little bit here? Have you noticed that improvisation is at the heart of our job? That's not written here. Have you noticed that we're in a camp? A very stylish Ecsite camp that Experimenta offered us. But it's a camp. Do you remember having been camping? How it felt to be dirty without being really dirty, or the opposite? To take risk and enjoy it. To be lost, but knowing that you'll find your way back home. Technology, science, your own intuition will guide you back home. And remember the bonding, the laughs, and the freedom that we have around a campfire. I hope this Ecsite conference brings you all of these and much more of the unexpected. But of the expected, you can expect 2 amazing keynote speakers, don't miss them. 82 sessions with 330 speakers, many of you here, thank you. And new this year, community meetups. Ecsite is one community, but it's also many communities. So we have community meetups on LGBTQ+, national networks, climate change, EDI, Ukraine, art and science, young professionals. We're trying that this year. Please tell us if it fits your needs. The conference should, and I hope it does, support your will and your wish to preserve biodiversity, the climate, to improve respect and justice for all humans, to equip the young and the adults with the skills to reach the Sustainable Development Goals. We don't do science communication for the sake of it. We do it to improve the lives of every single species, including the human one. This is not just a conference. It's Ecsite, it's unique, it's you. It's your soul that creates the soul of Ecsite. Yes, it's your conference.
Now it's time for us to get to the end. But before that, let me thank again all the Experimenta team, and particularly Wolfgang, who welcomed us so warmly this year. And many thanks to the Ecsite team, to you, Catherine, to Skippy, Brad, and the ACPC team. Nothing would have been possible without the support of all our sponsors, and I would like to acknowledge their commitment and support with the preparation of the event, especially the Dieter Schwarz Stiftung Foundation, YIP, and the Lego Foundation. But above all, many, many thanks again to you all for being here. Let's celebrate our reunion and make this conference a great and successful family celebration. I now officially declare the annual conference of Ecsite open.
Handsender 6 und 7 gehen. Moderation Headset 1.
Please.
Moderation Headset 1.
Please come
Handsender 6.
and join us on stage. Warm applause. You have everything here you need? Yeah? Thank you very much.
Шановні учасники конференції, дорогі друзі, партнери.
Participants of the conference, dear friends, dear partners.
У момент, коли я виступаю перед вами, в Україні йде війна. Щодня гинуть цивільні українці, і серед них ні в чому не винні діти. І це в 21 столітті, в центрі Європи.
In the moment that I'm holding my speech in front of you, there in Ukraine, there is a war. There are dying children and innocent people. And this happening in the 21st century, in the center of Europe.
Але водночас в Україні триває життя. Прийшла весна. У моєму рідному Києві квітнуть каштани, розцвітає бузок, народжуються діти.
And at the same time, the life is continuing to go on in my dearest Kiev. The castanians, the lilac are blooming. The children are born.
З початку війни на світ з'явилося понад 40 тисяч маленьких українців.
From the beginning of the war, there were more than 40,000 little Ukrainians born.
І, на жаль, половина з них народилася не в комфортних пологових будинках, а в бомбосховищах Маріуполя, сирих підвалах Бучі та Ірпеня, підземних станціях метро Харкова.
However, the half of them were born under the bombings of Mariupol, in the cellars of Bucha, in the metro stations of Kharkiv.
Упродовж 3 місяців цієї цинічної війни, за офіційною статистикою, вбито і поранено близько 1000 ні в чому невинних дітей.
During this war, at least 1,000 innocent children died or were strongly injured.
Від бомбардувань та обстрілів постраждали майже 2000 таких військових об'єктів в лапках, як дитячі садки, школи, гімназії, університети, музеї.
The bombing influenced so many buildings such as kindergartens, schools, and others.
Дозвольте представити вашій увазі Малу академію наук України, Центр ЮНЕСКО з наукової освіти, організацію, яка об'єднує 250 тисяч дітей з усіх регіонів України.
Let me introduce you to your attention the Junior Academy of Science, the Center UNESCO, from the science and an organization that is including more than 250,000 children from all the regions of Ukraine.
Ми вже понад 20 років впроваджуємо у своїй роботі наукову освіту. Освіту базовану на дослідництві, підприємницьких навичках та винахідництві.
More than 20 years we are implementing our work in this science based on the investigations, the internship skills and creativity.
Хочу представити нашу делегацію. Ми з України. Доктор Василь Дунець, керівник відділу освітніх програм Малої академії наук.
I'd like to introduce our delegation. We are from Ukraine. The Dr. Vasyl Dunets, the manager of the Department of the Science Programs of the Junior Academy.
Марія Доброва, директор музею науки в Києві.
Maria Dobrova, the manager of the Museum and the Science in Kiev.
Олена Северенчук, керівник відділу комунікації.
Olena Severenchuk, the manager of the Department of the Communication.
професор Денис Суриденко, завідуючий кафедрою з наукової освіти Національного педагогічного університету імені Драгоманова.
The professor Denis Savidenko, the manager of the Department of the Scientific Education of the National Pedagogical University, Dragomanov.
Професор Катерина Терлецька, зав. Лабораторії математичних наук.
Professor Katerina Terlecka, the representative of the mathematical sciences,
Лауреат премії Лореаль ЮНЕСКО для жінок в науці.
The laureate of the Premier of the UNESCO for Women in the Science.
Роберт Щесний, представник Малої академії наук в країнах Європейського Союзу.
The Robert Chesney, the representative of the Junior Academy in the countries of European Union.
І я, Станіслав Довгий, президент і фундатор цієї організації з 2000 року.
And me, the president of the Junior Academy of Science and the founder of this organization starting in the 2000.
В Україні війна, в Україні складно. І ми б могли опустити руки, десь виїхати в безпечні території і чекати перемоги, читати газети, читати новини в інтернеті, переживати за кожного дня, де бомбили, де у нас є втрати. Але з першого дня ми прийняли рішення. Ми працюємо. Нас вбивають, а ми будуємо музеї. Нас знищують, а ми працюємо з дітьми. Ми підтримуємо наших дітей.
There is war in Ukraine. It is difficult in there. And we could have just left to a more safe place and just continue doing there something. But we go on working on what we are doing. We go on fighting and just waiting for our victory.
Важливим напрямком нашої методичної роботи є, саме в науковій освіті, є музейна педагогіка.
Important direction in our work is the museum pedagogic.
У вересні 2020 року Мала академія наук відкрила перший в Україні сучасний інтерактивний музей науки у найпрестижнішому місті, в столиці України, в місті Києві, на території експоцентру.
In September 2020, the Junior Academy of Science opened the very first interactive and modern museum of science in Ukraine, in the prestigious city, the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, at the territory of the Expo Center.
Експозиції та лабораторії музею займають близько 2000 квадратних метрів.
Expositions and the laboratories of the museum take place into the more than 2,000 square meters.
Незважаючи на обмеження, пов'язані з пандемією, за цей час музей відвідали понад 150 тисяч відвідувачів.
Even though there was pandemic and there were restrictions, there were more than 100,000 people who visited this museum.
Україна, діти, студенти, молодь України вимагала побудови музейної України. І ми започаткували цілу програму створення музеїв, наукових центрів в Україні. В першу чергу в експоцентрі ми запропонували створити містечко науки, можливо, по аналогії з містечком науки в Парижі. І на сьогодні ми практично готові, планували відкрити до Дня Незалежності 24 серпня музей математики, про який Катерина Терлецька трошки більше розповість.
Our children, our people wanted that the science is going on. And we built the Museum of the Mathematics that our Katerina Ternetska will tell a bit more about it.
Також в планах відкрити третій музей – музей високих технологій і досягнень української науки і техніки.
And we're also planning to open the museum, the third museum of the high technologies and science.
Цього року ми планували відкрити ще кілька музеїв, де завезені експонати, завершені ремонти. І ми планували до 1 вересня, до Дня підтримки дітей, який, до речі, вчора відбувся, планували відкрити ще ряд музеїв в регіонах України.
We also planned to open those museums in the several regions of Ukraine. We already bought the equipment, we already built those. However,
особливо я хочу згадати такий болючий музей, який ви бачите на екрані. Це музей зліва, це музей науки в Маріуполі.
especially, I want to speak about the museum that we planned, that was organized. This is the Museum of the Science in Mariupol.
Це практично все, що залишилось від величезного музею.
This is almost everything that you can see from the huge museum that was built.
Внаслідок попадання бомб і практично вигоріла і знищила всі корпуси і всі експозиційні зали разом з експонатами.
Because of the bombing, almost all the building with the explanations and expositions were destroyed.
Також така ж картина і по музею науки у місті Харкові, високотехнологічному науковому центрі України.
The same situation is in the city of Kharkiv, in the Museum of High Technologies in Ukraine.
У нас були великі плани, але, на жаль, наш північний сусід повністю їх зруйнував.
We had huge plans, however, our eastern neighbor destroyed those.
Як це торкається як всієї держави, окремих регіонів, населених пунктів, так і практично кожної сім'ї.
It concerns every single region of Ukraine and every single family.
Справа на цьому слайді ви бачите мій сімейний будинок, де мої онуки конструювали роботів, де я з ними запускав квадрокоптерів. Це. А де другий? Це справа.
This is the house of the professor, where his kids grew up, where everything took place. That is how it looks like at the moment.
І мої діти і онуки перші кроки вони робили в перші музеї, які вони відвідували. Це музеї науки. В 2-3 роки вони вже знали, що треба їхати у Мюнхен і ходити по цих унікальних залах, долучатися до таємниць науки і техніки.
And my children, my grandchildren, they made their first steps in this house in their science way, in the way of science, what they wanted to discover and learn.
Незважаючи на війну, як я вже сказав, Мала академія наук повністю відновила свою роботу. В більшості випадків в онлайн-форматі. Кожного дня діти мають 5-6 занять, готуються до фіналу всеукраїнського конкурсу, беруть участь і перемагають у численних міжнародних змаганнях.
Nevertheless, there is a war. Our Junior Academy of Science, they restarted their work in the remote distance education, the online form. Every day our children have 5 to 6 classes. They are getting ready for the final, the whole Ukrainian competition. They're taking place, they're winning in the international competitions.
На фото Володимир Пліта, переможець міжнародної виставки та інновацій «Інтарг». яка проходила нещодавно в Катовіце. Він отримав золото та спеціальний приз для розробки робота для знешкодження мін і збору уламків від мін і бомб.
In the photo, you can see the Volodymyr Plita, the winner of the international exhibition of the discoveries and innovation INTAG that took place recently in Katowice. He got his gold for the special prize for the development of the robotechnical complex that can destroy and demolish the bombs and mines.
З початком війни кілька мільйонів наших дітей змушені були покинути свої домівки та знайшли притулок на Західній і Центральній Україні, де не ведуться бойові дії, а також значна кількість дітей сьогодні знаходиться за кордоном.
From the beginning of the war, a lot of children had to leave their homes and to look for the shelter somewhere else in the western part of Ukraine or somewhere abroad.
Ці діти 2 роки були онлайн в зв'язку з пандемією, ковідом, потім 3 місяці війни і досить тяжке психологічне навантаження лягло на їхні дитячі плечі. Діти потребують психологічної підтримки, моральної підтримки та створення умов для продовження навчання та цікавого дозвілля.
Children had to study online during the pandemic. Then they had to study online during these 3 difficult months. And they have very difficult psychological situation that they have to be supported so that they can move on.
Ми не повинні полишити цих дітей, ми повинні їх підтримати, ми повинні створити все, щоб ці діти не залишились дітьми війни, і моральна травма не зіпсувала їхнє життя.
We cannot leave them alone and we cannot leave them aside. We have to do everything and our best so that these children are not growing traumatized but have the future and can grow.
Для підтримки цих дітей Мала академія наук розпочала програму створення центрів науки на безпечних територіях.
To support these children, our Junior Academy of Science started building the science centers in the territories that are safe.
На початку квітня ми відкрили музей науки та інновацій у місті Львові, найбільшому місті Західної України, де сьогодні разом із тимчасово переселеними проживає близько 1 мільйона жителів.
At the beginning of April, we opened that kind of center in the city of Lviv, where we have more than 1 million citizens and those who came there and found their shelter in there.
Експозиційна площа займає близько 500 квадратних метрів, де розміщено 500 експонатів і 3 лабораторії.
The whole territory takes approximately 2,500 square meters, and there are 3 laboratories, a lot of expositions.
Це невеличкий музей, але сьогодні вже близько 10 тисяч дітей пройшло через цей музей.
The museum isn't big, but at the moment, and we have 2 months starting the building of the museum, there are more than 10,000 children who visited the museum.
В подальшому ми плануємо створити ще 9 таких центрів науки в обласних центрах – Ужгороді, Чернівцях, на карті вони відмічені, Вінниці, Полтаві, Івано-Франківську, Тернополі, Луцьку та Кропивницькому.
Further, we're planning to launch such interactive scientific spaces and centers in the cities like Uzhgorod, Chernivtsi, Ivano-Frankivsk, Ternopil and Khmelnytsky.
В частині музею приміщення вже відремонтовані, де в декількох ремонтні роботи ведуться. І на сьогодні ми звертаємося з проханням розглянути можливість надати нам наступні допомоги. Це тематичні мобільні виставки, окремі наукові експонати, мобільні лабораторії, оригінальні освітні методики та іншу можливу допомогу на пільгових умовах.
I'm searching for the Ukrainian text because I'm very, very sorry. I've just lost the line. So the very first thing that is for the building is continuing. They are continuing doing it, but there is help needed, and the help is. Ви можете, будь ласка, повторити, яку саме допомогу, а я переведу одночасно.
Тематичні мобільні виставки, окремі наукові експонати,
certain expositions of the science,
мобільні лабораторії,
mobile laboratories,
та оригінальні освітні методики,
and original scientific and educational methodologies,
які ми можемо використовувати в своїй роботі.
Those that we can use in our work.
Також ми вже відвідали понад 10 музеїв і центрів провідних наук, і ми побачили, що в цих музеях безкоштовний вхід для українців. Ведеться деякі роботи по українізації контенту. І хотів би сказати, що спільно з Центром Копернік ми започаткували проєкт «Досліджуй науку українського», до якої приєдналися вже 31 центр науки Польщі.
We visited a lot of museums already, and we've seen that the Ukrainization of the topics is starting also. We've also seen the Museum of Copernic in Poland, and we see that the work is going.
І ми маємо перші результати. Під час наукового пікніка, організованого у Варшаві Центром Копернік на День науки 21 травня, українські діти мали можливість знайомитись з експонатами і слухати екскурсії українською мовою.
For example, during the picnic in Poland, we seen that children can listen to the information, to the scientific information in Ukrainian, and they can study there.
Мала академія наук виконала переклад необхідних матеріалів з польської на українську мову.
The Junior Academy of Science did the all necessarily needed translations and interpretations of the methodology of the texts and methods.
І для всіх, хто приєднається до цього проєкту, ми готові взяти на себе частину роботи з перекладу матеріалів з європейських мов на українську.
And for those who can participate in our project, who can support our project, we are ready to conduct the whole part that we translate everything in Ukrainian and organize it.
Ще одна наша ініціатива. Під час війни наші діти не мають можливості подорожувати і відвідувати музеї в інших країнах.
Our initiative, the very important one, is that our children cannot travel in other countries during the war, during these times.
Тому ми започаткували підтримку українських дітей програму віртуальних екскурсій музеями науки Європи та світу.
And that is why we started our interactional online program so that they can visit those museums online.
Ми вже обговорювали цю ідею з нашими колегами і отримали підтримку ряду музеїв, зокрема Deutsche Museum, Копернік центру та містечка науки у Парижі.
We talked about this with our colleagues, for example, Deutsche Museum, Copernic Museum, and also the Science Campus in Paris.
В цьому плані гарним прикладом є започаткована нами програма «Лекції майбутнього», до якої долучились за нашою проханням провідні світові науковці, інноватори, зокрема, понад 50 лауреатів Нобелівської премії.
And for example, and this is a very good example, that there were more than 50 participants of the Nobel Prize who took part in this program, and children could listen to their lectures.
Цей унікальний свого роду проєкт надає можливість українським дітям не лише прослухати цікаві лекції, але й поспілкуватись, задати питання і отримати відповіді від своїх кумирів.
They can not only listen to the lectures, but they can communicate with them. They can ask them questions that are interesting. This is something that brings them forward.
Протягом останніх тижнів наша команда відвідала ряд провідних європейських центрів і музеїв науки.
Our team visited a lot of centers and museums of the science during this week.
Ми вражені тією увагою, відкритістю до співпраці і готовністю підтримати Україну у цей трагічний для нас час.
We are surprised and flattered with that support, with that attention that we get, and this feeling that people are ready to support us in these difficult times.
Від імені народу України, освітянської, наукової та музейної спільнот українських дітей дозвольте висловити щиру повагу та глибоку вдячність за вашу людяність та високу моральність.
I'm speaking from the people of Ukraine, from the scientists of Ukraine, from our children that live in Ukraine. And I want to say my sincere thank you for being interested, for staying behind us, for supporting us.
Повірте, Україна цього ніколи не забуде. Українці цього ніколи не забудуть. Наші діти цього ніколи не забудуть.
Believe me, Ukraine will never forget that. Our people will never forget that. Our children will never forget that.
Окремо хочу відмітити наших колег Товариства друзів України. Їх тут, мабуть, нема, але це благодійна організація у Польщі, яка, окрім технічної допомоги, долучилась до гуманітарної. Діти потребують також ліків, продуктів харчування, одягу, предметів гігієни. І перш за все, перша допомога вже доставлена до України в партнерстві з нашим українським фондом «Зробимо разом».
And also, I want to thank to our partners, the charity organization that is in Poland, who helped us not only in the scientific way, but also to cover the humanitarian problem, because children, they need also medications, they need food, they need a lot of things that were provided, and we could already help a lot of people.
Я прошу вибачення, можливо, я трошки вийшов за регламент, але я хотів сказати і звернутися до вас з словами багатьох українців, багатьох дітей, які сьогодні незримо тут зі мною. 250 тисяч, які вам вдячні, які дивляться на вас з надією і вірою. Я хочу...
I want to say sorry that it took me so long and that my speech maybe was longer than it was planned, but it was very important for me to say everything about this way how thankful people are, because they know that you are behind them, they feel that, they sense it, and this is something that this message was very important for me to bring here.
З глибокою повагою до кожного з вас, з надією на тривалу співпрацю. На завершення хочу запросити всіх учасників на нашу локацію, яку так гостинно надали нам організатори. Також щира вдячність організаторам за матеріальну підтримку нашої делегації. Дякую за увагу.
With the greatest honor and respect, I want to thank to the whole organizational team who gave us also the chance to have our stand, and we invite you to our stand to see what we are doing, to see the explanations that we present. And I thank you all from my whole heart.
Moment. Aye.
going to be another speech.
I know, I'm going to introduce her. And now, please welcome Katarina Terleska, Head of Department of Math for the Junior Academy of Sciences in the Ukraine. And she also won the UNESCO L'Oreal Women in Sciences Award. Yes, thank you for being here, Katarina.
Das Kabel hat sie jetzt gerade genommen. Warte mal kurz, ich kann ihr die 8 geben. Die 8.
We take a lot of time, sorry, but I will be quick. Yes, thank you. My name is Katerina Terletska, and I'm a scientist. I'm working in a Junior Academy of Science, and I'm doing here puzzles, math, climate science, because I'm a scientist and science is my life. And what I'm doing, I'm modeling waves and current in ocean. And by results of my work, we could explain a lots of things depending and connected with the climate and climate change. And really, mathematics is everywhere. And we could model and explain a lot of things around us by using mathematics. But really, lots of people don't like math. They don't like to study, and they say that it's boring. But not for me, and a lot of people who like mathematics. Why it happens? My parents in a childhood gave me mathematical puzzles, and now scientists said that it's the best way to involve young people to math by using puzzles. And really, puzzles is in our history. Do you remember the story about Gordian knot? So this is the first topological puzzles. And another story, it's about pandemic, not COVID, but plague on the island of Delos. And do you remember there's a problem of Delian oracle? So God wants people to solve puzzles, to solve problems, but not to make in war. What was that problems? You should double the cube with the use of compass and ruler, but you couldn't do that. So God gave us unresolvable problems, so they want to push to people think, but not doing war. But it really happens in my country now with the war, and you saw just now all these terrible pictures. It's reality. I think the reality is much worse that you saw before by Stanislav. And Russian, they're dull, they have not critical thinking. They kill and destroy all we build and create by decades. And in a Junior Academy of Science, I'm doing with my colleagues the space, the mathematical space, and we also make a methodology for teaching climate science. But they want us to surrender. They want us to give up. But we're still doing a lot of very nice things. This is an example of puzzles we develop in our laboratory. It's a mirror book, and with the use of this mirror book, we investigate symmetry, properties of symmetry. And this is the vehicle with the triangular wheels. It's a reload triangle, and it's normally could roll over. And even this reload triangle you could find in a Gothic window. Even here in Hellebrunn, you could also try to find this reload triangle in a cathedral. And this is a puzzle where we should find the missing cell. But it's not only the puzzle, it also connected with the Fibonacci sequence. Yes, and so we could make a lot of different problems based on this puzzle. We also connect the different equations with the geometrical shape. And also this is our dream. Stanislav mentioned it already. It's a museum of mathematics. We dream about this. We collect the items throughout the world and develop our own items. And we wanted to open the museum at the end of this year. And of course, we still have a lots of dream and we're working. And nobody could take our dream, but our main dream is a victory. And now we invite you all, invite you to support us in our victory against ignorance, against violence, against dark. So to win, we need you. To win, we need Ecsite. Thank you, and please support us. Thank you very much.
Moderation geht auf von links.
Alles gut.
Alle Menschen werden Brüder, wo dein sanfter Flügel weilt.
All people become brothers, where thy gentle wings abide.
In these challenging times, it's more important than ever that we stand together and celebrate our Ecsite.
That's right. And that's why we would now like to ask Herr Dr. Wolfgang Hansch, CEO of the Experimenta, one more time to come on stage, along with Frau Professor Dr. Bärbel Renner, Head of Communications and future CEO of Experimenta.
And of course...
Whoops, why not? Excuse me! I just got a little nervous.
Yes. And of course, Miss Silke Lohmüller, please. Managing Director of Dieter Schwarz Foundation. And Dr. Christian Sichau, Head of Secondary Education, Exhibition and Programs. We are reaching now the official part of our opening.
Yes, Bruno, I'm sorry you announced it before, but we go by the plan here in Germany. So you have to bear with me. We are going to do it one more time, okay? We gave it some thought.
Yeah, we made up our mind how we open our Ecsite, and we've thought about a signal, a special tune. It could have been a bell, but we don't know why. But we thought about something completely different.
This is true, Bea. And just before that, I believe Frau Lohmüller and Herr Hansch would like to say a few words. Is that correct? Yes.
So, okay, I will start. I think everything has already been said, but maybe only a few information very, very quickly. For the first time, the conference will take place in the camp, and it should be a conference of short distances and sustainability. Although probably for the first time, we also invited the population of the host town, the inhabitants of the city of Heilbronn, to this conference. And our sustainability format festival, Wild Spaces, takes place right next to the Ecsite camp. The message is preserve nature, create knowledge, and shape the future. And I think you should visit it. There you can also see some photographs of the Grand Dame of the German photography, Herlinde Körbel, who has portrayed 60 of the most important scientists of the world. and has done this in a very unusual way. On the occasion of this conference, also a climate project was also implemented here at the camp. 800 square meters were planted by trees and 1,500 perennials. And the name Smart Festival Forest will be always associated with the annual Ecsite conference, and we are sure that this climate project will also improve the microclimate in the city of Heilbronn in the future. You can also visit our motorship, the MS Experimenter, which is anchored about a 15 minutes walk from the Ecsite camp. It is a small replica of the large Experimenter with a lab with exhibition area and also with a mini science dome. And of course, the Experimenter is open to you throughout the whole conference. You can visit the Experimenter as often as you like. A big thank you to the team of Ecsite, and once again, and a big thank you also to my team. They did a great job setting up this 27,000 square meters tent city. Thank you very much for all, and maybe you can clap your hands. A big applause. And maybe you will try, or you can try, to take the feeling of the city of Heilbronn with you in your memory. Thank you very much, and I will leading to Stilja Lohmiller.
Thank you, Dr. Hansch. We've heard many welcomes this morning, so I think mine will be the last one. I also want to welcome here in Heilbronn for the Ecsite conference. When I began in the foundation, Mr. Hansch told me that one of his biggest wish is to be the host of the Ecsite conference. And then he worked several years to get this dream today fulfill. Thank you so much that we can today fulfill one of the dreams of Mr. Hansch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Silke Lohmiller, and I'm one of the two CEOs of the Dieter Schwarz Foundation. The Dieter Schwarz Foundation supports the Experimenter and also the Ecsite conference. We support education and science, and some of you have been yesterday evening on our Bildungscampus. There we give several schools and universities a home, and also we support different other institutions and programs here in Heilbronn, and meanwhile all around Germany and with different international universities all around the world. We are very happy to be able to do this. Our founder, Mr. Schwarz, takes care for this, and the company, the Schwarz Group, makes a real good job. Probably you know Kaufland and Lidl, and they are very successful, so there we can do all this, what we can do. But in these days, our eyes also are here on the Theresienwiese for the Ecsite conference, and I want to hope that you all have great days here, interesting information, good communications, and also good food and a lot of fun. Thank you.
So now we have one more special guest.
Yes.
It is the
Massendurchgangsprüfer
from our high voltage show Blitzgescheit, which Blitzgescheit translated means lightning clever. So this is from our live show that we perform on stage. We needed to come up with some kind of a signal.
Yes, and a special signal, because only the signal works when we work together. Oh, thank you, boys. Oh, here they are again. Yes. Energy needs cables, as we see. Ta-ta-ta.
Ta-ta, ta-ta. We're going to bring it right into the middle. Watch out for your toes. Exactly. So, Herr Hanschen, Frau Dr. Renner over here a little bit, and then we're good. Perfect.
Eh? So please give one electrode to Mr. Sichau.
Yes, and one electrode for Frau Dr. Renner. Yes. Udo is explaining everything. Right, so exactly. I take this. Ah.
You have to go in front. He tells in his very special way.
Wait.
And so we've got one electrode there, and we all need you four to join hands.
But after a countdown.
Yes, after a countdown, of course. And who would have expected that? We need you for counting down. Yes, so we go from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! The Ecsite is open!
Yes!
Yeah!
Hey!
And now, please take your seat again before our choir will start to sing again, because music can be a healing thing as well.
That's true. Music connects. So let's one more time with Uli Dachtler and the Experimenter Choir.
And you're
Hans is going to sing as well.
In. I love this song. It's one of our favorite song right now.
Yeah, I don't know what Beethoven would think if he heard us all clapping our hands.
Because there is the most important thing happening right now. You all know it, because the award ceremony will take place. So please stay a little longer.
And join us in welcoming Sharon Ament here on stage for the award ceremony. Ament. Yay! Hi, thank you that you're here. Speak.
I'm speaking. Hello.
There we go.
Hello. Right, I'm going to speak very loud.
No.
I don't know about you, but I'm completely emotionally wrung out. I've never cried so much.
No, we checked that with the mic.
There can't be like the music down.
Have you got a mic for her? It's not working. Okay. So everyone wants to understand you, so please, just a second.
Okay, hello.
Oh yes, we can hear you.
So, hi, I'm Sharon. I'm the chair of the judges of the Mariano Gago Ecsite Awards. And it feels like Mariano Gago's really been in the room today. He was a great man, a great scientist, and led public communication with science across Europe. And I am, I'm sure, like everybody else, emotionally wrung out by today's ceremony. I have not cried so much at an opening ceremony in an Ecsite conference before. But we have two really great things to say today about the award winners of this year. So I have the great pleasure of chairing a really wise group of judges, and we have the great joy of looking across all of the applications for the awards, and this year it's been quite phenomenal. We get to see the best of Ecsite and the best of what our community does. And it's quite humbling, and I wish you could all read those applications. The jury comprises of Maya Halveli, David Harvey, Sarah Davis, Ken Arnold, and Alexandra Quintala. All great experts, really brilliant people who looked at all of the applications with me and really, in a considered way, came to two wonderful judgments. This year there were two awards, responsible and responsive. How did and which organisation responded well to the crisis of the pandemic? And our beacon of the year. Which person best represents the Ecsite communities, the values, the beliefs that we all hold so dear? Before I announce the winner of the Responsible and Responsive Award, I would like to commend 4 organisations who really did outstanding work this year. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate my dear friend, from the Rijksmuseum in Boerhaven for Contagious, a fantastic exhibition that responded to the crisis in which we felt, with the great science around the virus. I would like to thank the Stiftung Planetarium in Berlin, who live-streamed their work, which connected with many, many, many people. I'd like to thank the Glasgow Science Centre, who were really impressive in how they worked with schools. This really touched our hearts. And I'd like to thank the Bradford Science Festival for their activity packs that got to every single corner of your community. But there is only one winner, and that winner is the Centre for Life in Newcastle. Oh, there's me. My hair's changed. There's Ken Arnold. There's Sarah Davis. There's Maya. There's Alexandra. And I'm sure other slides will surprise me in a minute. So they're all here. They will come up and you will enjoy them. So, first of all, where is the International Centre for Life? David, where are you? Come on up. Thank you. Congratulations. A few words about this before David says what he has to say and tell us all about this fantastic project. Sometimes in organisations we often think about how do we reach the most people, and sometimes we really think hard about how do we reach a few people profoundly. And this is what you have done. And the impact of your work on the lives of people who whose abilities to engage with the world are very different from yours and mine. It's profoundly important, and congratulations on your work, and please do tell us more about it. David.
Good morning, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be receiving this award on behalf of the International Centre for Life. The Mario Gaggio Awards are the Oscars of the science engagement world. It's a massive endorsement from you, our community of professionals, and it's a real honour. We are grateful to the autistic community for embracing this partnership and all of the opportunities that have come from it. This very special award recognises the partnership between the International Centre for Life and our regional autistic society, and in particular, our online support to autistic families during the pandemic. What started as a very small Facebook group involving just 6 families grew into a massive online programme with an audience of over 13,000. Let me give you some background. By the time the pandemic hit, we'd been working together for nearly 2 years. Back in 2018, we began working with a small group of families to help shape the Science Centre, exhibits and the new live programmes. The main aim then was to make everything more accessible and inclusive. Then, 2020 came along, the pandemic hit, and as we know, everything was disrupted. Our learning told us that the autistic community in particular valued structure in their lives, and that had been swept away almost overnight. So, we worked together to create a dedicated programme to meet the needs, providing most needed structure and support, and vitally, a sense of community. Hey, but don't just take my word for it. Here's just one example from a family who gave us some feedback. And this is what they said. Whoa, what a journey. Our sessions came at such an important time in our lives. The support has been amazing. It's a validating experience, and we have appreciated your integrity and genuine friendship. Now that is an indictment, isn't it? So, we've learned so much from this experience, but if there's one takeaway point, here it is. There's no shortcut to effective community engagement. It takes time, passion, and open minds to develop mutual trust and understanding. Now, the lessons that we have learned are now being used across the whole organisation, from our board of trustees to our team on the science floor. Now, I'm a very passionate person, and I'm really passionate about this project, and I'd really love to tell you more, but we haven't got time. So, I invite you, over the next couple of days, if you see me, buy me a whiskey. Now, you'll guess where I'm from, and I'll tell you a wee bit more. So, I'd like to end this morning by saying a big thank you to Ecsite and the judging panel, and in particular, Sharon Ament.
Oh.
Thank you. Have a great conference.
David, maybe some wine or a bottle of beer, rather than whiskey. So here's your award. Thank you very much. Now, finally, I would like to announce the beacon of the Ecsite Beacon of the Year. Now, if you know that this award is given to somebody whose values and whose work and action has contributed to Ecsite over the past year. It's probably, though, somebody whose work is, has got a long tail behind it. And this year, it was astounding to read the application. If it's not an application, other people put the beacon forward. But to read all the affidavits and support that went into commending this person to us. And when I tell you who she is, I'm sure you'll all understand why. This person is a generous spirit, and everybody who works with her knows this. She's an expert. She leads a profoundly important organization. She is a part of a network herself and leads networks. And she is Anna Amidis. Anna, where are you? Anna. So well deserved, so well deserved. Fantastic. And I think, yeah, I'm going to see whether you can read everything that everybody wrote. It was profoundly emotional. Anna, you're a brilliant woman and a brilliant contributor to our world. So thank you very much. Now we have, would you like to say something? Thank you.
Oh, much better. Good morning, guten Morgen. The CEO of Experimenta said it's very difficult to talk, and after all that has been said, and after listening to Sharon's word, it's even more difficult. But I have been given 5 minutes. Maybe I will take less. And talking to an Ecsite audience without having to prepare a presentation is like a luxury. So this is very good. I'm really glad to be here. To so many friends and colleagues. We all share our passion for museums and for science, and our curiosity to learn and to discover. Also because Ecsite conferences, I'd say this, now that I'm not in the board I can say it, I think are the best conferences organized. So, and these are a must for all the members of Ecsite, and not only for the organization or for the content or for the activities, but also because of the way we relate to each other and how we enjoy being together and how we learn from each other. And I have been to many of these conferences. I have been speaker, convener, I have done my duties as a member of the board, even as a member of even as a vice president, and enjoyed all its parties and social experiences. But today, for the first time, I am in a different side of this conference. And it's a very pleasurable side. I like it. I like it very much. Before I continue, I want to just briefly say that I miss the presence of Dacia. Dacia is a member of our senior staff at the museum, and unfortunately, and also a member of the CPC of the conference, but today she cannot be here with me, and she wanted this very much because of some family health problems that she stopped her from making here. But thank you, Dacia, because I know you are also, in a way, part of all this. I am so thrilled to receive the Beacon of the Year award, but extremely and especially happy for the words that Sharon sent to me in a letter, because they make me think that the award was really given to me. It sounds very stupid, but when I read the reasons, I thought, yes, this is me. So this award is for me. And also, it made me feel that I couldn't ask for a better reason, that my work and my way of working were at the center of this award. And also this award has come in a moment. I have retired less than a month ago, so it has come in a moment that my, let's say, working career has come to an end. I have closed some phases, I'm opening others, and so it's like a final touch of this part of my life, but also it feels like a place where I can hold for all the things that I want to continue doing. So I don't think I could ask for anything better, you know. Moreover, I never thought I would get an award, and I never thought whether I deserved one or not. I think museum people, and you will agree with me, we're all crazy. We know from the very beginning that we will never get rich, that we will have to work very hard, and that we will have to fight for each step and for each project. But even though we embrace our profession with passion, and we relentlessly work, but surprisingly, we enjoy our work. And I think for us, this is our award, which is more or less constant. Of course, there are moments, complicated moments, but every so often we get some awards when some projects get to an end or something is really fulfilling. So to me, this is, it was not even, let's say, necessary. Well, not now that I have it, yes, I think it was necessary, but when I got the letter, I said, well, there's no need for this. Anyway, also another thing that I would like to say is that we are all here because we all share this, that we want to learn, we want to share, we want to be taught, we want to be relevant, we want to be part of the solution of many problems that are on the earth, and we want to be able to help make our world, that it has been said, a better place. And this is especially important for all of you, for me also, but now more for you, because I don't think the world and the society has needed science more than it needs it now. So there's a great work for you ahead. I might help every so often, but so I'm very happy to be in this community. I intend to still be part of this community, although it will be in a much more relaxed way, at my own pace, but I'm there. So I will never be completely outside. I think it's impossible. I want to thank Experimenta for organizing this year, Ecsite. It's very nice, as it has been said, to be together and physically be able to communicate again. I want to thank Ecsite, not only from my part, but from the museum side, for all Ecsite has given us, experiences, ideas, contacts, projects. It's endless, and I think it's very inspiring for all the museums that are inside Ecsite, because there's so much coming all the time. And I have a very warm thanks for the jury, especially for all these nice words you have said, but when I think of this award, I think, no, I don't think I would like any other award. This is the best one I could get. Probably the only one I would get, but anyway, it's the best one. And since this award is really about career, I just want to thank every single person who's been part of my career, who has taught me, inspired me, and shared my projects. And I want to thank my family who have come all the way from Barcelona to be with me in this very important day, and to you for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Anna, this really is for you. This is your award for you. It really is. There you go. There you go. Oh, okay. Thanks, sir. So we end on a high. I think that's the end, isn't it? Am I drawing this to an end? I think so. Oh, no. No, you go. You're better than me. Much better.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you.
We're the beginning and the end. So here we are again, and we have just teensy information for you before you can start experiencing our Ecsite.
One last bit of organizational information. You all received menu cards with which you could make your selection for this evening's gala dinner. Please remember to bring your menu cards with you tonight and place them in front of you at your place with the color side up so that our servers know which selection you've made.
And maybe you have noticed our staff is wearing masks. They're doing this for your security. And you are open, you can choose for yourself if you're wearing mask or not. So please enjoy the Ecsite. And one information we love to give you, the Business Bistro is open now.
Yeah, let's go have a coffee and have a great time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the Ecsite.